Showtime. All right. All right. Show to the time, y'all. Show to the time. All right. I literally, what up? What up? I literally just finished ironing my shirt. Cause y'all know I can't be up y'all wrinkle. I know y'all don't see much of the shirt, but it's just a personal thing with me that I gotta have my shirt ironed and stuff. I feel complete when I have my shirt ironed. So I ironed my shirt and everything, got that done. So I am 100% straight now. I feel good and all that. So, all right, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Yeah, if y'all don't mind, just tell me where y'all coming from. Tell me where y'all coming from. We're gonna let the folk get on up in here. And I got my stuff too loud over here. All right. Yeah, I spent the last 2, 3 hours working on some stuff. Had a bento box today. So sort of treated myself with that. And okay, we got Jersey, we got Orlando. Okay, we got Hollister, California. Oh man, I'm taking my socks off. Yeah. Woo. All right, let my feet breathe for a little bit. So we just gonna relax and have some fun tonight and everything. So ah, there was something else that I wanted. Oh, there it is. All right, I got this as my backup. All right, I got my tea. I got my dessert, my little snack over there. So I don't have a fritter, but I got something else from a place called Plaza Bakery, and I can't even remember the name of it, but it has custard in it, and it's good. And so anytime I had to go renew my rental car today, so I went over there. And what up, Joseph Haskin out there in Indiana? Yep. So we got Big Boost, the EJ1. All right, California, Norfolk, Virginia, LaWanda Anderson. All right, one of the members. All right, we got Oswald. I'm from Clubhouse. Man, look at you. Look at you. We got Cincinnati. We got Jersey. We got Orlando. We got some old California. Charlotte. It is not wrinkled. All right. That's just the fact that I don't have as much muscles as I used to really fill it out. And besides, I ain't one of them guys that like to run around in little skin tight shirts and stuff. So I got to have a little looseness to my shirts and stuff. I don't wear no skinny jeans either, pants or nothing that makes me look vacuum sealed. All right. I don't want anything when I take it off, like it's releasing air. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. I need some free flowing stuff and everything. We got Stafford, Virginia up in here. Hello to you, Miss Watson. I wonder if I met Miss Watson before. Are you the Miss Watson that's a signing company owner up there with Shawan? We got, yeah, yeah, I can't, them guys, look, see what a lot of people don't realize, that style of the, as I call it, the vacuum seal clothes, if you go look at the old movie West Side Story, you'll see it. And I think we got Facebook in the house. That's right. I forgot I'm screaming loud to Facebook. Facebook, that's what I was trying to remember why did I need my tablet because I need to keep tabs on my folk over there on Facebook and everything. And so in case they got any questions and stuff, I hope I got Facebook set up on this tablet. But yeah, if y'all go look at the old dance show West Side Story, you will see um those little slender pants in there. So it's nothing new per se. Let's see. I'm gonna have to do Facebook on my phone. Where's my Facebook? All right. And I hope it's playing through. All right. Yep, it's showing. It's showing. Cool. Cool. All right, Facebook. We got you. We got you popping. All right. So let me see here. I'm gonna have to. All right, there we go. So I can keep up if there's any comments over there on Facebook. I think we are good to go. All right. All right. First here, what do you do in signs for the booty appointment 5 and a signers change appointment every hour until 3 hours later? What should the notary do? You should be a good notary and you go there when they tell you to go there and you make your money and you don't have an Oswald attitude. That's what you should do. Okay, that's what you should do. Um, well, we're gonna get to some of these questions. Um, Signing service booked it for 5, and the signers change the appointment every hour until 3 hours later. I mean, you know what to do, man. You call the signing company, say, "Hey, look, they keep changing the thing. I'm already booked. I'm not able to make it. Please reassign." Deuces. I mean, that's the best you can do. I mean, it, yeah, if they keep changing it, I just go ahead and be like, nope, I can't do it. Even today, I had to cancel one. I had a 9 o'clock and then a 10:30. And next thing I know, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have the documents last night. I contacted them. They said, hey, we don't have them. We trying to get them. And then 8:30 this morning came, and I'm on my way to my 9 o'clock. They said, well, what's the latest you can get the documents so you can have them, so you can still do the 10:30? I said, now. 8:30 in the morning. I said, now. I didn't want to say 9 o'clock or anything of that nature. I just said now because I'm gonna be at the 9 o'clock. And nope, nope. You know, so that's you sometimes you gotta let it go and everything. So I mean, if you want to, I mean, what to say to the signing company? Well, the only thing you could directly say to the signing company is, I'm no longer available. I'm no longer available to accommodate this signing, so please remove me. It's that simple. I mean, if you get because you we're not employees, so because we're not employees, we can't just sit there all day, every day, just day in and day out, just waiting, waiting, waiting. It's I'm running a business, and the signers, especially if the title, everybody got their stuff together. You can talk to them about a print fee, and all that. But when it's time to bounce, it's time to bounce and everything. Just trying to keep tabs on this Facebook thing here. All right, there's the thing. Trying to figure out to keep an eye on the comments. All right, so I'm gonna be a little organized tonight, y'all. I got a little list here of stuff that I'm supposed to be trying to cover and everything. Your brain was fried. Yeah, it was. Yeah. So this video, the whole purpose and goal of this here is to try to answer, and I have to say try, I believe it can be answered, but to try to answer questions that a lot of new people in the notary business have questions that need answered and that they have not been able to get anybody to answer them, as well as people who are interested in the business and want to give you a general idea of what this business is all about. Um, and just to give you a little background about me, I've been doing this for 5 years, started in 2018. The November will be 3 years that I've been full time in this business. Um, I probably do right now about 60, 70 signings a month. I work primarily with signing companies. I do have some direct clients, but those direct clients aren't feeding me consistently. It's like maybe there'll be 6 weeks where I'm just getting all kind of work from them, and then it goes quiet. Then it pops up, then it goes quiet. I'm constantly getting work from the signing companies. I primarily work with them, and I really work with anybody who wants to provide me with an opportunity to make revenue. So as long as what they're asking me isn't a violation of my state law, I'll do it. I've done orders from $20 all the way up to over $300. I will work it. You tell me what you need me to do, boom, and I will get that done. It says, do I have to have a certain number of signings to get refis on SnapDocs? Well, what you have to have, you don't. you need to have whatever orders you put in there, but in order for you to get specifically refis, somebody has to be willing to refi. That company has to want to give you a chance. That's really where it boils down to. Okay. If they don't want to give you a chance, that's where the rubber meets the road. So you can have 100 signings in there, but if they don't want to give you a chance, so as a lot of people do, they go sign up with notarygo.com, which is the bad, well, I won't say bad, but they're not necessarily the funnest. You could probably do refis with them and then put those in your profile, list those in your profile, all of that, and hopefully they will give you a shot. But some companies right now, if you don't have 80 under your belt, they ain't messing with you. And you need to put that in your profile. Like I've talked to y'all before, physically type it into your profile that I've done refis, I've done this many refis, all of that. So yeah, do you have to have a certain order that you check? Nah, no, long as it gets done. How you do it at the table doesn't matter. I know there's people out there that try to tell you you got to do it this way and that way. No, when you get my method is simply, and I'm gonna do a video on it probably this weekend. Yeah, more like I do it this weekend. A video showing what I do when I check the IDs and all of that. But how you feel comfortable, as long as you get it done, you get it done. Most people suggest that you do it in the beginning. A lot of people want to wait to the end, but really you shouldn't because you're supposed to check the IDs first, look everything over, make sure they are who they say they are, and then you rock and roll. But there's no particular order that you need to do as long as everything checks out. Cool. And if I'm misunderstanding your question, feel free to drop it back in there. And if anybody has a question that they want to ask offline and don't want nobody to know that they ask, and I put my email in there. And if for some reason I don't get to you, everybody, I will go back and if I have to do a separate video, non-live video, I will. All right. So, couple of things here I want people to understand. Especially this here part is primarily for the new people. I'm talking about the brand new people who are new, who are trying to get into this business, trying to, like a information, just trying to figure out what's going on. They've seen commercials or videos online talking about this business, and you really want to know what the heck is going on here. My man Q is in the house, and hit me there if you got any questions, and I'll be keeping tabs on those. So, okay, gotcha. And if anybody's on Facebook watching, drop a comment in there, hit the like button. I don't know if anybody watching on Facebook, but I figured I'd do it anyway. All right. So the first question is, what is a notary? So being a notary is very, 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 very simple. Okay. The National Notary Association, and I'm going to drop this link in the chat. Public and all right. Now that link there that I just dropped in the chat goes to the National Notary Association. And let me share this with y'all. And y'all see I had my stuff already set up to do my share. So I didn't have to go scramble and get it done. But it talks about what what is a notary public, what a notary public does, why notaries and notarization is important, how does one identify the signer, what a notary public is not, becoming a notary, and then there's a brochure that they have here, and that's this here, and it breaks everything down. Now I'm not going to go over all of this because in the description of this video, there's some links that I put at the top and it's hitting some of these videos, hitting this topic here. I did a video on this. So what's a lot of you need to know is that I've done videos on a lot of these topics that I'm gonna be talking about here, and I just want to make y'all aware of, because a lot of people don't realize that I got almost 900 videos in here, and I've also hit, I think it said I've done 1 million views. So there's been 1 million views of my channel, and I am so happy about that. And that's fully because of you, all of y'all, the party people. Thank y'all for 1 million views on this channel. So the bottom line, and we'll go over this real quick, a little bit about what a notary public is. All right. So it just simply says a notary public, a responsible person appointed by state government to witness the signing of important documents and administer oaths. Okay. That is what we are. That is what we're supposed to be doing. Okay. It's that simple. Okay. We are responsible. We are a responsible person appointed by state government to witness the signing of important documents and administer oaths. That's who we are in a nutshell. There's a lot of stuff you're going to hear out here, new people, that's going to be talking about all this other stuff we should be doing. And in order to be a good notary, you need to do this and need to do that. You got to continue to stick with the basics. You got to form your mind around the basics. And this is where it's at, because if you don't understand this, everything else is just going to be like glass. It's just going to break on you. And I'm not talking about reinforced glass, bulletproof glass. I'm talking about that thin, cheap crystal glass. Okay. Wire documents notarized to increase public trust in transactions and signed documents and to deter fraud. And this is key right here. As an impartial witness, the notary verifies that the signers of documents are who they say they are. Okay, we hear. The notary also makes sure that the signers have entered into agreements knowingly and willingly. In a society in which business dealings between strangers are the norm, notarization lends integrity to signed documents. Now, it's not saying that we have to know what the document is. It's not saying that we need to understand the contents of the document. It's saying we have to be impartial. So can you be impartial when you get too educated about something? And sometimes the answer is no. You can't always be impartial because you're all deep into it and trying to understand and figure it out and stuff. Let me come back to y'all real quick. And you're trying to be this person, this super snoop, and I'm going to know this document and this is what it means and this is what it's talking about. No. That is not even your job. It's because you're so focused on that you don't take care of who is this? Who is this person? Are they who they say they are? Did you make sure that this isn't fraud? That's your role. That's your position. That's your job as a notary. That's what you swore an oath to be commissioned to by your state. Okay. If you cannot focus on that and do that, then you're really not doing the job correctly. Okay. So that's in a nutshell. And I put that link in there, and then you scroll down and you will see, and you'll be able to do it. And let me just show y'all this here too. Let me just show y'all this right here. Another thing it says, is notarization required by law for many documents? Yes. Mortgages, real estate deeds, and certain affidavits are not legally binding unless they are properly notarized. Okay, properly notarized. This is why I'm doing this, because I want you to come into this business with the right mindset and the right understanding of what you're supposed to be doing, irregardless of whether somebody calls you a notary signing agent, a notary itself, a loan signing agent. The bottom line is this: you got to do this thing right. And if you don't understand how to do this business correctly, you are going to get yourself in trouble, and you're going to make a lot of people highly, highly, highly upset with you because you have not done what you're supposed to be doing. You didn't do it correctly. And that's really what the issue is. Okay. So that's about what a notary is. Okay. Next, is about becoming a notary. Okay. To become a notary, you can go to your Secretary of State. You can just Google the name of your state, benefit of working from home. Are you asking me what's the benefit of working from home? So you can go to your Secretary of State and put in, notary Kansas or how to become a Kansas notary, and your Secretary of State will walk you through that. The National Notary Association can also help you out with that. So if you go to the National Notary Association website, up there in the corner it says has become a notary. Now, once you become a notary, then you can come back to the National Notary Association and become a signing agent. And here is when you click on that, it says become a signing agent. So we're going to take I'm going to just pick, I see Kansas in here. So I'm going to pick, what the heck is Kansas? I forgot my alphabets. All right, so Kansas. So we're going to say become a signing agent in Kansas. And in Kansas, right, it says you must already be a notary in order to become a signing agent. Okay. And they're doing this now because there are a lot of people try to become signing agents and they weren't notaries at all. Now, in here for Kansas, because these prices may adjust depending on what state you're in. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that. But you have three different options. Now, I will tell you, the majority of the people, when you're new, they're going to tell you to only do the $79 option. Just do the $79 option. That's all you need to do. I don't agree with that because unless you got really some experience already as a notary, you probably need to do more than just that when you're becoming a notary signing agent. The main thing is the certified notary signing agent online training course. That course has a lot of great information in there that will help you to really understand what you should and shouldn't be doing as a notary. It also has the Notary Essentials training here, which will help you understand how to properly notarize documents in accordance with your state law. You don't see that over here with the background screening only, getting just the minimum. And to be honest, I wish they would get rid of that altogether, or at least make it mandatory that you take these other courses, either at the 208 point here, the basic certification, before you ever do this. This shouldn't even be an option for anybody who's new at becoming a signing agent. It should not. NNA should take this off, and you shouldn't even get this until you've been a signing agent for 3 years. After 3 years, then you can do just the basic part. But you really need to do this here, especially the Notary Essentials training and the Certified Notary Signing Agent online training course. Great information in there. So you will go through the process, select whichever option and all of that. And they're not going to go into all the different things. And then they give you options to buy books and stamps and all of that. You can spend the money to buy from them, or you can spend the money to get it from Amazon. That's completely up to you which direction you want to go. Some people want to do it all in one, and then boom. One of the things that they offer on here is, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what I forgot to do. I guess hit the like button, y'all. One of the things that the NNA offers is a hotline membership. And with the hotline membership, that gives you access to a bunch of other resources that they have. And those resources, a little bit of my tea. Got that echinacea tea today. Ooh, but that's some good stuff. All right. So with that, they allow you to have, when you under your my NNA, when you're on the homepage, you have the my NNA. It takes you to this page here, and it has all of these different resources and things of that nature. And with the hotline membership, and if I'm incorrect, please correct me, somebody. But I believe you can only get this with the hotline membership, is that you get access to notarial certificates. Okay. And when you click on this here, it takes you here. And then you can select your state. So like we started with Kansas, so we'll stick with Kansas. And let's say a person, they say, well, what does an individual acknowledgement looks like for Kansas? And you click on that, and voila, this is the individual acknowledgments that is approved by Kansas, or that meets the Kansas requirements, I should say, not necessarily approved, that meets the Kansas notarial certificate requirements. And you can use this in case the notarial certificate that's on there is not fit for you. And then it has instructions and all of that. Okay. So it has all the instructions on there, everything you need to know. You can use this here. So you can pick any, we'll go with California. My man Caprinas out there. So California, called acknowledgement. And as you see, theirs is a little bit different. They got this big old box down here and everything, but they have instructions on how to properly fill it out. So having an NNA hotline membership, and let me be clear, I don't get paid. I'm not getting paid. NNA is not asking me to do this. They're not kicking nothing back to me or any of that. I'm just sharing with you some information. Okay. One of the other things that I like with the NNA site, and this is for new people to help you get an idea of the resources that are out there. So you're not just spending money on training courses, and then those training courses don't really help you to have the confidence that you need to go out here and do this business. Okay. So now here, and this is even for the people who are already notaries. This here, U.S. Notary Reference. It has a U.S. Notary Reference for all 50 states. And I guess I don't know if any of the territories in here. I think just all the 50 states. So let's take Maryland, for instance. So Maryland, it allows you to see all of the state laws, all of the state requirements, everything. What is based off of the statutes, everything. The administrative rules, who the Secretary of State is, all of that, the website, the guidelines, rules, everything. Commission and appointment, all of this good old stuff. Okay. Handbook for Notary Publics, that's what that HNP stands for. So this goes through everything that a person, let me slow that down, needs to know. And I'm going to zoom back in. Talks about your bond status, all of that. Talks about your notarial acts. So it's telling you right here, authorized acts, taking acknowledgement, administer oaths, all of that. Gives you everything that you need to know, all the understanding that you need to know. Talks about oaths and affirmation. Oath means a sworn solemn statement made under the penalty of perjury by an individual who believes in and appeals to a divine being to evidence of the seriousness of the individual's actions or words. Affirmation means a solemn stated oath of a solemn statement of truth made under the penalty of perjury before a notary public. So it's giving you everything that you need to know. Witness signatures, all of that. Okay. So standard of practice. And there was one thing that I wanted to point out in here. Notarial certificates, give you examples, all of this stuff you got. Seal and signature requirements. Okay. It's telling you everything you need to know. Sorry that I'm moving so fast. Recording of your notarial acts, all of this. Okay, this is very important stuff, y'all. So if you're sitting here as a notary, as an existing notary or looking to be a notary, you need to know that there's resources out there that can help you. Okay. Audio, video recording, fees, all of that. Electronic notary acts. And it was one thing that I wanted to get to. It talks about remote notary acts. And where the heck is it? Might be real estate practices. Now, this is key. And I know some Maryland notaries might get mad at me on this one. Real estate practices. Maryland notaries, you really need to read this because a lot of notaries say that you need to have this typical title insurance producer license, independent contractor license. I'm not going to go all deep into it, but it says here, it talks about a notary may not render services which may result in the issuance of title insurance without that license. However, if you this here says, however, right here, if the notary, my bad, here it is, my bad, I had to go back one. A notary who merely attends a real estate closing or settlement that is conducted by another person or entity whom merely witnesses signatures in consideration of the statutory fees that a notary is permitted to charge does not, in the view of the MIA, fall within the scope of insurance articles such and such, and is not required to secure a title producer license in order to perform such services. What does that mean? That means if you're in Maryland and you're going to be a notary who's just witnessing signatures and you're not going to be a part of actually issuing insurance or any of title insurance contracts, then you don't need to have a tip license. Now, I'm sure right now people are probably hitting some, man, he said, y'all don't, we don't need, read the notary reference. If you are in Maryland and you fall in this category, you don't need it. But then it says, and this is reading this fundamental. However, if the notary is the only individual other than the buyer who is present at the closing and the notary is presenting documents for signature, which may result in the issuance of title insurance, collecting of escrow funds, or otherwise permitting duties other than witnessing of a signature, the notary must be licensed as a title insurance producer. Here's your state statute that backs that up. You get what I'm saying? So let me come back to y'all. And I pulled Maryland up on purpose because I hear a lot of notaries keep constantly saying, in order to do closings in Maryland, you have to have a title producer license. That may be so if you're in a office with them, and that might be their requirement. And they may say, okay, notary, here's what we're going to have you do. And in order to do this, and we actually issue the insurance and stuff, and we want you to do that. So you need to have the proper training. But if you're in a situation where you're not going to be doing that, and the reference, the state law says it, then you don't need it. Now, am I saying stop and don't ever go get one? No. But what I'm saying is you need to be properly educated in order to do that. So if you're taking training from somebody that's not in your state, if you're a Maryland notary, they're not going to know this. And they don't care about this. They just want you to take their course and do whatever, pay them money, and then they teach you whatever they teach you. But this is your responsibility to go do that. So becoming a notary and then becoming a signing, and that's what this next part I'm getting ready to go into addresses. You got to be able to understand what is and isn't. So people are telling you, this is how you ought to operate. This is how you have to operate. This is how you better operate. Then they need to bring receipts. What I just shared with y'all, this is receipts. Okay, this is for Maryland. Okay, this is for Maryland. It says annotated code of Maryland. Okay. Oh, that's what the MIA, according to Maryland Insurance Administration. So this is for Maryland. Now, if I'm wrong, then we got to talk to the internet and tell them to update this. But this is the thing. You got to know your laws. Okay. Now, let's move on to the next thing. Woo. All right. Let me come back to y'all, and then I pull my other thing up. Where is it? All right. So, one of the things that people keep coming up with and questioning, and I'm trying to stick with my notes and stuff. What is a notary signing agent and what is a loan signing agent? Now, I did a video on that, long video, 48 minutes. So I did a video on that right here. Oops, let me switch on this side. This video, so we can have a little more space. And boom, there we go. So This here video is called LSA versus NSA, and it's primarily talking about stuff for Virginia notaries, but the last 20 minutes or so really is for everybody. Okay, it's really for everybody. Okay, goes into what you need to understand. So this site here, and I'm gonna drop this link in the chat, and it's also in the video. LSA versus NSA. So this company, Superior Notary Services, I've done work for them. And a lot of people of us probably have. They talk about the difference between a loan signing agent and and notary publics. It talks about what is a notary public, which we already covered, all of that. Talk about the stuff that we can do, and then it talks about how to become one, all of that good stuff. Okay. Then it talks about what is a loan signing agent. Let me zoom in here a little bit. All right. This is very, very important. Okay. For you new people who are going to be hearing the term loan signing agent. That's why I don't call myself a loan signing agent, primarily because of this definition right here. A loan signing agent is a notary public with a level of certification that allows them to guide the borrower through the loan process. All LSAs must become familiar with how the loan process works so that they are able to accurately assist the lenders in explaining the contract to the customer. Now, the question, um, that's a good one. I've heard of people doing it. I don't actually, you don't really need to do that. You just need to you just need to make sure you stay within guidelines of that and stuff. And okay, sorry about this, y'all. They're gonna order popping up in here, so I gotta see if it's something I can do. What time is it? It says 1 p.m. on Monday. I'm gonna say yes. It's from Rocket Mortgage. Dang on it, somebody beat me to it. I was too slow today. All right, no biggie, no biggie. Yeah, I still got to check my orders and stuff when opportunities come in. All right, so, but yeah, they play. I mean, I think I've heard people talk about doing that, but as long as I've never had to do, I've never done it. So, as long as you operate within, your pledge and all of that, you should be good to go. Roger that, man. You're right, man. No, if an order pops in, I'm like, nah, for y'all, I'm not going to leave. And if an order came in, but if an order came in for me to do later on, yeah, I'm going to hop on it. So now here's the question. This is the question that I had to ask myself. What training out there meets this requirement right here? Is there any training? And I know people are going to be, ain't talking about explaining documents. What training mirrors what this says? It says, if you zoom in a little bit more, it says, with a level of certification that allows them to guide the borrower through the loan process. Out of all the training that's been out there, what training actually helps you with the loan process? That's the key. And when I answered myself and I said self, as Mr. Brown would say, self, yeah, what's up? What training out there? I don't see any. A lot of it is about marketing. A lot of it is about, let me come back to y'all. A lot of it is about just understanding what to say about the documents and being careful not to go across the line of unauthorized practice of law. But there's not a whole lot of training from the standpoint of actually saying, okay, here's what the loan process is. Now, typically, and this goes in this, and that's why I put the link in there for y'all to read it for yourself. it talks about most loan signing agents are people who typically work for one company, primarily car dealerships. And let me hop back here. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. What does it the personal loan contract? That's what this is talking about. And yes, we can do these things, piggyback loan, reverse, all of that. Then it talks about becoming a signing agent. A good LSA will answer questions you have so that you can completely grasp the agreement. So, as a notary, we ain't supposed to be doing that. But then you got to be trained as a loan signing agent to understand the process so you can answer those questions. So it says if you've ever taken out a loan for a car or home, then you likely work with an LSA during the process. You probably had questions about the terms, interest, all of this, that, and the other. Now, they say a good LSA would know how to do this. The question is who's teaching you how to really answer these things? Okay. And see, I know that they're skirting it with, well, you're pointing to it. Uh-uh. Answer any questions you have. Okay. That they're answering questions to be able to tell you so you can completely grasp the agreement. If you can't answer the question that they're asking to the point that they can completely grasp the agreement, then you need to keep your mouth shut. You see what I'm saying? So when y'all get time, go look at that. Look at that for yourself. There's no training within what we're doing that's teaching us to that level. Now, here's the thing. Most notary trainers will not even discuss with you. Somebody said, hold on. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Somebody's sending me some examples and stuff, and I got some stuff to show y'all too and everything. Yeah, so it should be good. Yeah. Sorry about that. I just want to make sure that this notary don't need help right now. Okay. All right. They look like they're good to go. So the thing is this, most notary trainers won't even discuss with you the notarial part. So if they can't even talk to you about the notarial part, how to properly notarize this, that, or the other, then how can they help you with understanding the loan closing process or the loan process? You see what I'm saying? They're not able to help you with that. So no said on that subject, but y'all get where I'm going with that. Okay. Now, the other question. And hold on, let me swing back through and answer some of these questions. I know I done missed a lot. Keep in mind, the hiring company also dictates what's needed. Tip is required for NSA because that is the last line. Okay, when you say it's required, who's requiring it? Because you're saying perform mobile notary. Where? Because the hiring company is not so much. When you say that, okay, you're saying keep in mind the hiring company dictates what's needed. There's a signing company in Maryland who says that if you won't explain won't answer the questions or deal with the title documents for the title and insurance documents, they tell Virginia notary we're not going to assign the order to you, we'll take it away from you. So they can dictate all they want, but if what they're dictating isn't in line with the state law, I can't do it. My state law trumps anything that they dictate. Because one, I'm not an employee, I'm an independent contractor. So for them to say, well, you have to explain title documents or you have to get there. So when you say tip is required for NSA because it's of that last line, it's not required in my state. And I'm not sure if hopefully I'm not messing with you talking about performing mobile notary signing services. You don't need a tip because in some places the title insurance stuff is already taken care of. And in Virginia, we're not required to have it. And we don't even talk about the title insurance stuff. The title company handles all of that. And they give them the paperwork and they either sign it and say they want the standard or enhanced, or they sign it saying they don't. So so when you say it's required, are you talking about required for Philly, required for this? Because I know in Indiana and Maryland it is, and a lot of people, because see that seem the tip license seemed to be such a prestigious thing for some people that they put a lot of emphasis on that. But I personally know that there are notaries out there who got tip license and they don't know how to notarize. They got tip license and they don't understand the difference between an acknowledgement and a jurat. So people can have that license, and there are people who got tip license and ain't notarized nothing, and then they decide to become a notary. There's men and women alike that I know. There's several men that I know that have done that. So you have to be mindful of when you say that it's required, because you got to really think across the board. Who is it required for in order for that to be done? What's going on, Nikita? All right, so let me see what else here. And I gave up commercial cleaning business. All right, who else? Griff, what are your thoughts on coordinating shipping documents when you have multiple signings? Do you use FedEx, UPS centers, or do you have a third party center? If I try to stay away from third party centers, I don't mess with them, because I recently found out looking at a coast to coast training session that sometimes the Eckers and the drugstore places and all of that will sometimes call up FedEx or UPS and say, "Hey, we don't have that many packages today, so don't come by." So no, I don't use. I always go by FedEx, UPS. Period. I don't use third party. Well, there's one third party that I use because they're reliable. Okay, third party for as Eckers and Walgreens and stuff, no. But there's a company called PostNet. I will use them. And they've proven to be 100% accurate, because I've actually watched the FedEx and UPS come there. They come there every day. FedEx and UPS comes there every single day, picks up the documents, and I have not had a single document that I shipped with them come late, be delivered late or not at all. And they give me a receipt, everything. Some of them other places, they don't do receipts and all of that kind of stuff and everything. All right, so let me keep going. If I miss anybody, I will be going back and looking at things. And if I have to go back and do a separate video just answering questions, I will. Let me look at this. It says, I started using the Notary Gadget e-journal. They have the signature and captured at the end, and that document. I asked them if it could be at the beginning. I have not done. I'm signed up with the e-journal stuff, but I haven't really used it yet. So I gotta look into that. All right, so let me keep going. Now here's a bigger question. Let me go back. I did a loan for a former signing agent last week that asked me if I could accept a screenshot. Oh, and they should know better. See, this is what I'm talking about. You got to know that you can't do that. You cannot accept screenshots of IDs. You cannot. I had scenarios like that the last couple of days. No, you got to give me the physical ID. No physical ID, we can't go forward. You got credible witnesses. You don't. Okay, you can't go forward. So the other thing is about mentors. A lot of notaries are being told as soon as they come in this business, you need a mentor. You can't do this without a mentor. If you don't have a mentor, you're going to fail. And that's a lie. That is a lie. Now, the mentor can come in two flavors. One, an active mentor that's actually dealing with you if you was to get one. And two, a more passive one, somebody who you just watch and you learn from, but you may never really interact with them. Okay. I got videos in the description. I got a playlist on mentors where I talk about mentorship and all of that. Mentors, the pure definition of a mentor, they don't get paid for doing it. The mentors don't get paid for doing it. I was right. I was told exactly that about getting a mentor, because most people who are doing mentorship are trying to get paid for it. And true mentorship is that person is doing it out the kindness of their heart. If you really want to get into get paid for your time and stuff, that's where you become a business coach. But see, when you're a business coach, and see, my thing is this: if I'm paying you, then I need you. because you're actually working for me because I'm paying. See, the concept of some of this mentoring, the training stuff we have in the notary business is you're paying somebody, but they don't act like and they don't operate as if they actually work for you, like they were responsible and accountable to you who paid them. They're just like, just pay me, and then here's a course. All right, go take it. You pass, you know, whatever. I don't care. I'm on to the next thing. Oh yeah, that tea working real good on my throat. Um, all right. So, do you need a mentor? Look, if y'all been watching me for any length of time, this young lady said lie. um, you was told, you said I was told about getting a mentor that I needed one in order to be successful. That's what you said. Look, people call me about being their mentor. I tell them, I said, my mentorship starts with my videos. You watch my videos. Yes, some of them are long, some of them are short, some of them are somewhere in between. But that's where it starts because any conversation that I would have with you, I pretty much have already said it in those videos. It's not that I can't have a conversation with you, but knowing that you're new and you want to understand what's going on with being a notary public, there's a video. How to get started as a signing agent, there's a video. How do I prep the documents? There's a video. Where do I sign? Where do they sign? There's a video. What about that word seal? I see that word seal on. There's a video about that. I'm scared about being in this business. There's a video about being scared. So I'm doing videos about the things that y'all say are most important to y'all. So instead of me trying to sit here and read, talk all that to multiple people, the smart thing to do is, okay, I use this here. Here's a video. And I do it on YouTube instead of Instagram and TikTok and all of those because I can get to be as long-winded as I want and really express myself to y'all. And then y'all can sit here, rewind it, look at it again. And I tell people, look at the videos. Anything that I did not articulate clearly, hit me up and we'll discuss. If I did articulate it and you got it, but you still got a question, hit me up and we'll discuss it. If there's something that I said or might, so let's say you see a link that no longer works or whatever, you see something in there you need me to clarify, tell me at what point in the video did I said it, and then I will go look at that video again at that point and a little bit before and after, and then I will respond to you. And y'all know I do that. Okay. So that's where my mentorship starts at with the videos. Okay. But most people are thinking, and then when you look at the people who are being mentors, the question is, are they even doing this business? All of that. What are you mentoring me in? Because most people, when you're getting mentored, you have a goal and you're coming into this business and you don't even know where you can go with this business. You know where people told you can go. You know where people are telling you can go, but you don't know where you want to go. Like the old song, do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Diana Ross from Mahogany. I think that's the name of the song, Mahogany, but I love that song. I remember that song when I was a kid and everything. So that's the key. Do you actually know where you want to go in this business? The answer is probably no. So why are you hopping out there with a mentor? Many of you don't even have mentors on your day job that's way more difficult than this. But you say, you know what you do? You sit down in that chair and you figure it out. So I don't understand how come you can't figure out how to use a notary stamp. I don't understand how you can't figure out how to read the notary handbook and the state laws and figure it out. Use the NNA as a resource to help you. And when they don't understand something, yes, they will say best practices, but you at least got an idea. They have other resources in there that you can use to help you. So it makes no common sense, logical sense, any kind of sense. Anybody, the 61 people that's listening, and I appreciate it, all of y'all, and thank you for hitting the like button and sharing. I don't understand how you can come into this business after living your life and doing all that you have done. You got married, divorced, remarried, had kids, took care of stepkids, took care of other people's kids, military, jobs. went to college while working a W-2, going through a breakup, figuring stuff out, going through sickness in your family, taking care of your mom, and all of this stuff you did, and there was no mentor in place, and you were successful. You navigated all of that, and then you come and you get this little piece of plastic, and you act like you done lost your mind and you can't figure out nothing. That's why I tell people, if you call me talking about you scared, I'm gonna hang up on you, because I just can't believe that you don't have the ability of your own volition to read a handbook and do your own research, that you got to depend on somebody who's in another state, who is really only out to just get the dollars from you, and what they're teaching you may not even be approved by your state or any state, and you want to spend money with them, and all they're telling you is, here's how you can market, take some cookies and creams, take some this and gift cards, and all this stuff about spending money. But when do you get to make money? Because that's what you came in this business for. Okay. So, do you need a mentor? Can it help? Yes. But you need to make sure you understand what a mentor really is, and look at the description, and there's a link in there to a whole playlist about mentorship. All right. Do you need to take training? Well, if you that's the age old thing. Do you really need to take training? You can, but here's the thing. What are you trying to get trained in? It's no different than if you take your son, coaches work for you. Right, what Philly is saying here, coaches work for you. There should be goals and objectives set to know whether they are worth the money. And I still say, yeah, the coaches you pay, mentors you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Because see, here's the thing. Where have any of these people ever mentored before? And I could stay on this subject for days. I mean, you really think about it. You look, you some of these people ain't never ran nothing their whole life, no business, no nothing. And all of a sudden, because they just happen to be able to figure out some level of how to do notary stuff for themselves, now they feel they can teach everybody. And then most of the material that they're using is stolen material. Not all of them, not everybody, but some of them allegedly is stolen other people's material and just repurposing it and selling it to you and making you think that they did something special when they really didn't. Now, it's up to y'all whether y'all do this or not. Let me see. You know, we always people put a one or two. Put a number 5 in the chat. If you had a situation where your mentor just ghosted you, or you realize the mentor ghosted you, and or you realize that person really isn't on the level of being a mentor. They really don't know stuff. Put a 5 in the chat. I just come up with a number. Just put a 5 in the chat. If you ever ran across somebody claiming that they're going to mentor you, even whether you paid them or not, and you realize that while all of a sudden when things got the nitty gritty, you started really, they disappeared on you. They ghosted you. They left you. You can't, they won't pick up the phone, all of that. And I know personally that happened to a lot of people. Now, whether you want to admit to that, that's different. But you ain't saying nobody's name. All I'm saying is, has that happened to you? Because I know it has happened to some people. I know 10 people off the top of my head that I'm thinking about that has happened to. And the crazy part is, in some of these cases, the person reached out to them. The so-called mentor reached out to the mentee and said, I can help you. And that's the game. Okay. New people who are coming in this business, you get in these social media groups and they ask you to come into them. And then while you in there, if you even dare ask a question and show that you're new, oh, next thing you know, they got a link for you to click. They all of a sudden they got something for you to sign up and talk to them about. And then next thing you know, they want to mentor you, and they come to you asking you. See, most people, when you go to a mentor, It's after you've watched them, you sat back and watched them, and they proven themselves. They prove you. They like, okay, well, yeah, this cat really does know what they're doing, and you watched them for a while, and that's why it's typically you get a mentor that's close to you or that really puts themselves out there. And I know part of the reason why people ask me because I put myself out here. I talk what I'm doing, and I show y'all what I'm doing, and I actually walk it and live it. Okay, and I understand that. But it's hard for me to be a person, a mentor, because I don't know where you're at. And the reason why I don't know where you're at, because you don't know where you're at within this business and what you're trying to do. So I'm like, figure that out first. And I believe as you go about figuring it out, you'll realize you can do this with just very little help from these people who you really don't know. Okay. And it goes on to say, oh, Susan, the question was, have you been ghosted by a mentor, somebody who either you went to or they came to you saying they want to be your mentor, whether you paid or not, and all of a sudden they just like, I don't want to mess with you no more. You can't call them, you can't find them or nothing. If that's happened to you, drop a 5 in there. So, do you need to take training? If so, who do you take it from and what type? And this a key thing is this, just like what you do with your kids. Son or daughter wants to go to school. Okay, what are you going to learn? Why you want to go to college? Well, I want to go to this college over here. You're like, what's wrong with community college? Well, they ain't community college ain't hitting on it. Trying to get you $200 back. Yeah. Oh, I'm still returning your calls. Yeah, I still return the call. She's one of the members on there, part of my YouTube channel members. So if your son or daughter said, you know, okay, my son or daughter really ain't ready to go to state college or a big university. So they need to go to the junior college. And they come to you talking about, I'm going to the University of Nevada. And you're like, okay, what's your goals? I'm just going. You have no goals, no idea. Do you know what is the main idea behind it? You know, what they talk about, what they're focused on? I'm just going to Nevada. That's all I know. You wouldn't go for that. What is your purpose? Where are you headed at? You, same thing for you. So when you're talking about training and education and learning something, you got to say, help her out. You got to actually say what it is you're trying to learn. What is the goal here? I just want to be a doctor. Okay, what type of doctor? A doctor that helps people. Okay, what foot doctor, finger doctor, eye doctor, back doctor? What type of doctor do you really want to be? So you just can't say, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a truck driver. Okay, well, there's a lot of trucks out there. What type of truck driver? You see what I'm saying? I want to work in the shipping industry. Okay, shipping what? What type of shipping you want to do? I want to be a stock trader. Okay, what type of stocks? Because there's so many different types. Too many people come into this business saying, I just want to be a notary. I just want to learn to just soak it all up. But you got to have some guidance and some direction. You got to feel, okay, do you want to do with general notary work? Do you want to do mortgages? Do you want to get into wills and trusts? So that means you got to do some research. And that's where a lot of this is from. So you're taking training, hoping that it will just magically tell you what you're supposed to be doing. Oh, I took this training, and when I took it, that's it. Oh, that didn't help. Okay, well, I'm gonna take their training, and that's it. There's 8 different types of there's 8 trainers out there, and I know people have taken all 8 and still trying to figure this business out, still trying to figure themselves out because they didn't know what they wanted to do with this business. They didn't do any research. Now, the people who actually take time out and research this business and learn about this business, they're the ones who end up being more focused. They're not wasting a lot of time and money. They're actually more pointed and they're more disciplined in doing this business. Period. So understanding let me go back and look at some. So witnesses and the newbies get to sit and watch and get paid. Okay. In Pennsylvania, we started a witness list. It allows new notaries to tag along. Yes, which I've been saying that for years. I've been saying that. I've been saying that, I don't know, for 2 years, that notaries, just if you need a witness, get another notary. And see, this here is the messed up part. I was doing that, and I was showing bringing, and I was, and I had, and I was doing videos. I don't have them on a channel no more because a whole bunch of folk out there was getting upset and was like, "Well, Griff, why you do? You can't do that." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? No, you can't take nobody," and was trying to dime me out. And I'm sitting here trying to help notaries understand this business and take them with me on the signing, and they would just sit there and watch and see what was going on, so they had a better idea of how the loan closing process worked. And folk got upset with me. And I said, let me just stop doing it. And I called and talked to the NNA, and I got stories about, and the NNA was like, well, if the companies are okay with it and the signers are okay with it, we can't tell you not to do it if the people who are basically with the people who paying you say it's okay. So I'm like, okay, well, if the NNA understands that, then what's wrong with y'all folk? You see what I'm saying? People being, just all up in and stuff, So now I do still take notaries out. I just don't publicize it on video because I know people. Because here's the sad part: none of them folk who was sitting up there complaining about it was doing anything to help y'all. That's the sad part. So the loan closing process. Now here's I got to show y'all some stuff. Let me show y'all some stuff. This is what y'all really want to see. All right, and I'm gonna just show y'all, give y'all a general idea. Okay, so with the loan process, and I didn't have time to get all the screenshots and stuff that I wanted to do, but with the loan process, you get what is called notifications. An order will come in, okay, and it will say, "Here's an order," and you can tell this is back in the COVID stuff, and it tells you how much it is. Up here's, I've had to block all this stuff out, location and all that. With this here signing order, tell you exactly. Say Joe asking, well, yeah, Joe, hold up, Joe, I gotta come up there, and we gotta get Joe his 200. Hold up, Griff. Griff, I had to come across. Yeah, yeah. We'll get that bad boy back, man. We'll find a way to get that 200 back. We will. Trust me, we will. All you got to do is give me they they email address and a general idea where they live in, and I'll take care of the rest. And stuff. All right. So the order will come in, and then you'll say either yes, I'm available, or no, I'm not. Or you will write them a message that says, hey, I'm available at some other time, or this, that, and the other. A lot of people say, well, I accepted the order when they click that button. There's only a few signing services out there that when you click that button, you instantly get assigned it, and that's Signature Closers and BankServe. Everybody else, you click on it, they may or may not give it to you. Okay. But these are some of the notifications that I just want y'all to see. So it's talked about, proceed to the signing, even if you don't confirm, all of that, give you instructions. And you say, yes, I'm available, or no, I'm not available, or you can leave them a message. This here telling you this a purchase, it's 95, all of that kind of stuff. You can tell this is from COVID, talking about wearing masks and stuff. So these are screenshots that came to me. All of that investment, send back fax, fax back, refinance, all of that. Going forward, please upload scans, all of that. So the loan process starts with you getting a notification. After you get the notification, and I have videos, and you'll see it it's in the thing. The signing, the business comes from either signing companies or, well, really, all the business comes from title companies. And you'll either get a notification from a signing company or directly contacted by a title company. Once you get the order, then you have to go through and process it, and it's a whole lot. That's why I got videos on that. So look in the playlist and you'll see it there. But to understand the loan process, it all starts with the loan officer. The loan officer, the title company, and then either the notary or the signing company, then the notary. Well, either way, it all starts with the loan officer. If the loan officer is not doing their job of getting business in a particular area, the title company's not going to have business. Therefore, you or the signing company is not going to have business. What's up, man? Oh, what was that? Oh, okay. Thanks, man. So the key is everything starts with the loan company. Now, documents being late and issues of that is with the title company. The title company is the person who takes care of all of that. If they're running behind, if they're short staffed, documents are going to be late, hands down. Okay. Let's see here. It just got a couple of more. It says understanding how to. Okay, understanding how to notarize. Let me cover that for y'all real quick. Let me cover that. Okay, because a lot of people want to talk about notarizations. Okay, let me go back up here at the top. Now, these are documents that I've changed the names on and all that stuff. Simply put, is this: every single state requires. Let me see if I can. I think I have it. Where's my pencil out here? Every state has. You have to put the venue, state of, county of. Then you have. Then you have the notarial statement. Okay. Then you have this statement that says what's going on here. And in this case, subscribed and sworn, meaning it's a jurat or an affidavit. Okay. Or an affidavit. Sorry about that. Okay. The notary will sign it. And in some cases, they want you to put your expiration and then you put your stamp. Okay. Now, even though it doesn't say stamp over here, if your state law says you're supposed to stamp it, even though it doesn't say stamp, you still stamp it. Period. Okay. That is the basics of the notarization. There's going to be a notarial certificate here. This is called the notarial certificate. And with this certificate, it is either for an acknowledgement or a jurat. Okay. It's that simple. And you got different types. Okay. They get the different formats. Okay. Let's go with the formats. This here is an acknowledgement. This here is a jurat because it's talking about subscribed and sworn. Okay. This here is a document where it's talking about them acknowledging shortages. Okay. Liability, that their liability. Now, most notaries, first thing they want to do is read all of this here and try to understand what this means. Why are you trying to read and understand what this means? What are you going to tell them about this that does not cross the line of unauthorized practice of law? If your state law does not give you permission to share stuff about a loan document or any document that you're notarizing, then you need to keep your mouth shut. And I know you can say, and I like New Philly Girl said, well, the companies require this, they have requirements or they dictate. You cannot make me do something that's going to violate my state law. And here's the thing: we're all supposed to stay in the lane that we were given. We all got little lanes that we have been given, and we're supposed to stay in that lane. And the problem is that we sometimes get outside of the scope of what we're supposed to be doing as a notary, or a company may want the notary to get outside of their scope, and that is bad. We should not be doing that whatsoever. So this shortage, this acknowledgement for shortages has a state of, county of, and then it says on what? That's a date. On whatever date before me, the notary, whoever that notary is, your name, okay? Don't go around talking about Griff said put notary here. No. Before me, your name, okay? notary name. Let me do it this way. Notary name, and you are the undersigned officer. And personally appeared who? The person who came before you is that person up here who's signing it, John fake name. Okay. That's who's signing it. That's the person who came and appeared before you. And then you put your commission, and then you do your signature. All right. And then you do your signature, and then oops, I hit the wrong thing, my bad. There we go. And then your stamp. It's that simple. That's what we're there to do. If you can't do this, then you're not really being a notary whatsoever. Okay. And I got videos on properly notarizing. One video is called Brief Overview of Understanding Acknowledgments. Helps you understand this here. Okay. So it's that simple. Any questions about notary stuff? Now, the next thing I want to get into, and this is key here. Okay. This is key. And this here, to some degree, goes against this goes against a lot of the training that's out there. Okay. Here's what's key. Let's look at this here. Instructions. This is key here, y'all, and I'm gonna point out some things to you. The instructions tell you what they want you to do and not to do. So in this case, it's telling you clearly what, sign in blue ink. Okay. Always dress appropriately and everything. Make sure to mark how the borrower is going to bring closing funds for this particular company, and then write any kind of notes. That's one set of instructions. Here's another set of instructions. Date of signing cannot be changed without the approval of such and such federal credit union. Scanbacks must be uploaded prior to shipping. They typed that wrong. Prior to shipping. Okay. Please only use standard overnight FedEx label included with the documents. A lot of people be sitting up here using some other stuff. Third set of instructions. Do not print documents as double-sided. Let me zoom this in a little bit for y'all to see. These are instructions, people, that you get. Do not print documents double-sided. Do not print with low ink. Have all documents executed in blue. The documents must remain in order and be returned in order. Be on time. Attach notarial seal to acknowledgement and or duress. Do not stamp over any verbiage. So that means actually put it on the daggone certificate that is printed on the document. Okay. They want you to stamp it. And this is the problem. A lot of notaries will not stamp. Well, it didn't say stamp. So because it didn't tell you to stamp, even though your state law says that, you won't do it. Okay. Personally obtain proof of identity before you sign the document. So that's going back to the question that somebody asked about when to do the documents or about checking the ID. Before you get started, get proof. If scanbacks are required, please upload them. Please drop documents immediately after signing and be aware of pickup times and dates so you don't miss the overnight shipping. Make sure you double check. After closing, if there's any corrections, it's going to be on you to get it fixed. Now let's look at these instructions. Here it tells you what. Please ensure to get 2 forms of ID. Do not, now here's the key. Do not use iOS or a mobile device and print over Wi-Fi. PC is always recommended. Print all documents from SnapDocs. I'm not sure what that really means, but all I know is apparently somebody must be getting documents from somewhere else and they're not getting them off of SnapDocs. please drop signed and notarized closing package directly after closing, which more than likely means scan backs are not needed. And this here, now here's the key. Now, this here completely contradicts what a lot of people are trained, the way they're trained. Do not have signers initial any pages that do not ask for initials. And I don't know why that's so hard for people to follow. If the document does not ask for initials, do not give it initials. I don't care what your trainer says, unless they truly know something different. But if the people who give you the document that's paying you say, these documents don't need initials. Matter of fact, nothing in this loan packet needs to be initial. And then you go and have somebody initial anyway, that shows you don't know how to follow directions. Well, I did what my trainer said, but your trainer isn't the one who's paying you to do this order. But I paid them all that money. So you think you need to just listen and do what they say? You got to go with the person who's paying you. And unfortunately, because the people who are paying you are not paying you as much as you paid to your trainer, you tend to want to listen to them. Okay. So let me go in here. Let's look at this here. This has been fire. Got to run. Start a club. All right. Cool. Peace out. So let me see if I can go back, because I know there's a lot of questions all the way in the back that I missed. All right. Okay. I'm just trying to go back and see if I missed any questions. Okay, that's coordinating. This here says I was asked to notify. I don't know. I've never heard of that form before, to be honest with you. So I don't know anything about that particular form whatsoever. I don't know anything about that form at all. So the best way to do it, as always, is to just Google it, CRE-1 form. And okay, so apparently it's a religious exemption form. I just recently did. I didn't know that's what it was called. I recently did a notarization for a person for that. So the thing I can tell you is the form that they had, the notarial stuff on it was not correct. The notarial stuff on there was not correct whatsoever. Let me see if I can find it, because I had to scan it for the person. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second. Because I had to, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. I had to scan it for them. This is okay. This is what there was for the no venue. I hereby affirm that this affidavit was signed in my presence on this such and such date. There's no signature line or anything. I was like, no, I got to add a notarial certificate to this. And that's what I did. I added a notarial certificate to this. So I'm sitting here like, okay, as soon as I saw this, and the person was like tripping, because they're like, not really tripping. They was like, yo, they need you to sign it. They need you to just stamp this. And see, this comes from the state or the city, I think, with the Chesapeake school system. And they come up with this stuff, and it's like, this ain't proper. And they don't know that it's not proper. They just know this is what we want you to do. And I'm like, I can't do that. There's no signature spot, anything for me. So I can't do that. So you have to add a notarial certificate. It's talking about it's an affidavit. Affidavits require jurats. You swear them in, da 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 da. Okay, you telling the truth. Boom. And I just added a jurat to that. That's what I did. But as far as something specific for that form, only thing we doing is just verifying that the person is who they say they are, and that's it, far as I know. I'm just going through looking at to see if I missed anybody else stuff. I know I saw. Do you have a certain order for the IDs? Okay, somebody was asking about does it normally slow down around the holidays? It can. It can slow down during the holidays if the loan companies and the loan officers them aren't offering any deals. If the interest rates are high, this, that, and the other, it can. And typically it does. During the summer months, and we're coming to the end of the spring, summer time, it's starting to get slower again. Um, so it can get nice and slow on everybody. But if you're out there hustling and doing what you need to do, you're just you make yourself available for a little bit of everything. Um, let me see what else. Let's see what else here. And I think I got everything. Okay, I think I got everything from what I'm seeing here. All right, so all right, so let me go back down here. Now, let me see if there's any. Oh, and somebody did email me some questions. So let me go to that email. Let me get pop up their email and answer their and address their question. All right, where the heck is it? All right, hold on. All right, there we go. All right, so where is all right? So one person asked, said, "What are the most common mistakes NSAs are making, and why do they think they are happen? Why do you think they are happening? Lack of training, unfamiliar with state laws, lack of attention to detail." Okay, so let me just drop this in the chat. Let me just drop the question. All right. So this hope I got it. Okay. So that's what the question. All right. What are the common mistakes? Okay, the common mistakes, and guess what? I actually wrote them down before they even asked the question. The top issues that signing companies and lenders and title companies are having with notaries are number one, proper notarizations or improper notarization, not properly notarizing documents. The second one is missing signatures, dates, initials, and the stamp. The next one is not scanning the documents and just giving them back this copy of the scan. And the fourth one is not shipping at all or late shipping of the documents. Those are your major issues. Everything falls within that realm right there. You're not properly notarizing, you're missing signatures, initials, and dates, and you're not stamping. And you can say they in some cases they don't even have the notary. The notary themselves aren't even signing the document. You're not doing scan backs, and you're not shipping the documents because some people not even shipping it. I literally came across. I wish I could remember who it was, or when it was. It was no, it might have been this year, but I can't even remember who it was. I think it was a young lady, or was it a man? No, I remember that. It was a lady, but she worked for a signing company, and she told me this. She said she said some of the notaries are not shipping the documents because they're saying, "Oh, you didn't say to ship," even though there's a shipping label in there, but because the person did not verbally, audibly, or written say ship the documents, that's why you might have noticed an increase in your instructions for those of you out here doing it, talking about ship, ship, ship. They're like, okay, well, we're just going to have to tell y'all to ship because y'all don't realize that with that shipping label, you're supposed to send the documents back. There's notaries who actually got documents signed and they just sitting there at their house. How are you supposed to get this process? That tells me that person didn't really pay attention for their loan process, or they never owned a home before. And it's nothing. I'm not trying to throw shade, but some people just haven't done that. The next question, she had three questions. Her next question is, I posted up here for the Facebook people. Could getting experience doing general notary be a possible solution, or there's no correlation? Well, you can get all the experience you want in anything, but if nobody knows you have that experience, then that's where the fallacy comes in. So you really need to let people know, hey, I got experience doing this. So that's why I share with people about putting this stuff in the SnapDocs. Put your orders in SnapDocs, snap into people, even though it's your general notary work, but they see that you've been doing some kind of work. You could even go a little more detail about what type of general notary work you're doing. So if it's wills, power of attorneys, trust documents, then say so. You got to type it out in your profile. I got a video about that. Your profile will separate you from them. That's in the description. You go and you look at your profile and you articulate in your profile what you have done, because they will not know until you say so. Okay. And that was it. So she only had two questions. Then the next person, okay, they're in Virginia, said, what are the 5 things I should do if I want to start a successful notary business? All right. So now that question, I want to hear from y'all. Let me put it up here. What are the 5 things I should do if I want to start a successful notary business? I want to hear y'all. I'm gonna say what I think, which I'm coming off the cup because I saw the question, I hadn't even really formalized anything in my head. And then my lady Angela says, sounds like a lack of common sense. If there's a shipping label, they don't know to ship the document. Yeah, there's something wrong there. There's something wrong. And it is, and unfortunately, there is a comprehension issue going on. Some people just don't have the comprehension level to realize, oh, okay, I need to do this. Ship the documents. Oh, okay, show up on time, or show up at all. Yeah. So, what are the 5 things that you should do in starting your business to be successful? I believe the first thing is, and the first thing to be once. So we're going to assume that you have a clear understanding of the notary business. You understand why you want. Gotcha, gotcha, my man. One of the things you need to do is simply you need to coordinate with your family. If you're married or got kids and you're single, um, you need you really need to coordinate with your family to make sure that they're going to be able to support you in this. Meaning, they may not rah cheer behind you, but they can't do stuff to get in your way. So I think one of the things is you got to make sure that you with your family, they understand the endeavor that you're going on. The wife, the husband, the kids, as I always say, the dog and the cat, the squirrel, whatever you got in your house, your in-laws who might be living with you. Um, you need to make sure also as a sub to that subcategory, you need to make sure your friends, okay, those who you kick it with, those who you hang out, you out there to the clubs or whatever, you need to make sure they understand, hey, I'm doing something different here. If they don't, they can be, they will get in your way. They will do things not necessarily purposefully, but just trying to live the same way y'all been living this kind of way, and then all of a sudden you throw in loan closing, you throw in general notary work. So you have to you got to make sure of that. Now, going like what Joe here is saying, going back, learn your craft, which is that's why I said I'm assuming that you already understand the craft and understand what you're doing. Learn your craft. I got it. Yeah, learn the craft. Learn the craft. Okay. If you understand the craft, that makes it so much easier for you to go out there and be successful. Okay. Um, and these here can be subjective because it all depends on you. But for me, I had to make sure my family was on board. Two, I had to check myself. I had to check my willingness and desire to actually go out there and do this business. Am I really willing to commit myself to do it? Am I willing to move the things that need to be moved out of my way so I can do this business? Am I willing to leave the sports world alone or modify how much time I spend in other things in order to do this business successfully? Because if you're not willing to make any kind of changes within yourself, your mentality toward business and all of that, I don't care how much your family supports you, they're going to quickly turn away from supporting you because you're not out there heat checking yourself and making sure you're ready to go out here and do what you got to do. Um, Another thing you need to do, and what I always try to do is I watch what I'm listening to from people, and I challenge people on what they're telling me. If I think if they've proven to me, and I watch them, and all of that's wrapped in there, watching them and monitoring them and really listening to what they're saying, and not the bottom line is not number three, not getting caught up in the hype. If you don't get caught up in the hype, then you'll be able to sit back objectively and monitor what's being said to you, and you'll know whether or not that's a bunch of bull. But if you get all caught up in the hype, you don't realize what's going on. When you're all in whoo, and you like, yeah, pumped. That's why at conferences they get you hyped. But did you really learn anything? Get-togethers get you hyped, but did you really learn anything? Because the question then becomes, and this is what I learned years ago. I'm 56 years old, and what I learned years ago when I was started business and doing network marketing and all of that. If after 6 months, within 6 months after you, really within 30 days, to be honest, if you haven't really implemented anything that you supposedly got from that conference, it was just all hype. Or either there's an issue with you. Either you are undisciplined and don't have it in you to move forward. That's why I was talking about number two, heat checking yourself. But if you're all hype, believing in the hype, okay, when you gonna do it? Because the moment there's a roadblock, the moment there's somebody give you a little difficulty or things slow down, like we have seen in this business, then you get scared and then you start trying to do 17,000 more businesses. Next thing you know, you're trying to be a Forex trader. You're trying to do this. You're trying to do that. You're trying to sell trinkets and all that kind of stuff. You keep running from place to place to place, but you won't stay stable and build roots. I mean, that's just like within your marriage. Successful marriages, they go through those difficult times. They learn how to support one another. They believe in one another, and they get rid of the criticism of each other as well as the criticism of themselves. And they say, how do we make this work? How do we get to where we need to be? Yes, I got an issue with you. Yes, you have an issue with me. Yeah, we got issues with the kids, and the kids got issues with us. The dog looking at us all side-eyed, and we looking at the dog side-eye. But how do we get through this to make things work for this family? How do we gain focus on what's right? How do we make, as my man Deion Sanders says, the main thing, and keep it the main thing? That's what this is about. So you getting all hyped up means nothing to me. Are you going to do what you need to do when you have the opportunity to do it? Because if you're all hyped up, see, the hype tells you don't take a $60 order. The hype tells you only do $200 orders. The hype tells you you gotta your time is valuable. You're worth more than what people are offering you. That's what hype does. Hype gets you all pumped up thinking that you're more than what you actually are in any business. But that same hype that you got talking about you're worth more than a $60 order, you don't have that same hype for your W-2. You never had, you never will. And then you roll up in here with that foolishness, and then you want to call yourself, and this is to these trainers out there, then you want to call yourself a trainer / mentor with this little funky hype, and then you start telling these people, these party people, yeah, you're worth more than that. Ha! If you don't you devaluing yourself by taking a $60 order. You don't know me. You don't know what value I place on me. You don't know what my needs are. So how the heck you gonna tell me that I shouldn't take this dollar amount to put food on my child's table, to make sure my wife has electricity for her, whatever she's doing, if she has a business herself? How do you know? I'm doing this here to make sure that my husband don't have to work 2 and 3 jobs. I'm doing this to make sure that my son can stay focused on playing football and get that scholarship, so he don't have to worry about quitting his passion to try to help take out care of the family. I'm about to go off. But y'all get where I'm saying. Y'all get what I'm saying. And I'm personally sick and tired. That's why I'm doing this video. And I know it's going to be long. Might be 12 hours. I don't know. That's why I'm doing this video, because I'm sick and tired of people putting out stuff about the notary business just to then get you in there to pull, just to get to pull money out of you. And you end up not knowing and getting anywhere. All of this stuff that you're doing, who's actually being successful? Who? How are you really being successful, truthfully being successful, or do you have a whole bunch of other side stuff that's going on? Yeah, I'm a signing agent, but I got 15 signing companies and all of this stuff. You see what I'm saying? I'm also an escrow officer, and I'm also a settlement officer. You got all this stuff going on. And I'm sitting here like, you're not really doing the business like I'm doing it. You got all of this. Oh, you already had the hookup. You had the hookup. So that's how you got going, because you already knew a whole slew of escrow officers and title officers and whoever. So you didn't go into come into business cold like I did, where I had no visibility on anybody and I had to build myself up. I'm not saying you're not credible. You're credible to people who are in your situation. You're credible to teach somebody who has those same connections like you had how to use them. But you ain't, but you can't really teach me a whole lot from the ground up, because you didn't do this business from the ground up. You came in already on the third floor, and all you had to do is just keep going and ride that elevator on up. Matter of fact, I had to build a foundation for the elevator to even be put in. Matter of fact, I was like, "Bump, it's taking too long. It's easier for me just to walk the stairs and just grind it on out." That's just the truth of the matter. Whew. All right, let me see. Let me see. Oh, notary pay, the money. Oh yeah, yeah, going it. The money, the money. That's the big thing. Look, you came in this business to make money. I don't think it's right for people to sit here and say that the dollar amount that a company is offering you, you shouldn't take it, because we don't know. And yes, yeah, I went God done started going in. People done dropped out. They don't want to hear that. Yeah, the number of people in here done people starting to drop because they don't want to hear that, or maybe they just got to go. Nonetheless, here's the deal: with anything in life, you just got to try to get paid. You just got to start getting money coming in. One of the things about business that I learned, when you have money coming in, then something happens to you up here. When you get money coming in, then you start getting the idea, okay, well, I can do a little bit more of this. Then you start realizing how you can tweak things and adjust. And then you gain some experience that gives you the confidence to say, well, I would like 65 instead of 40. I would like 85 instead of 70. Or by you taking those orders, you start seeing, really, that 75 is not that bad. It's not that bad. Because I did a $150 order, and that was a butt kicker. But that's them $75 orders. I can knock those out. I can get in and get out. And the stress of doing them is not as much as it is with those 150, 200, or $300 orders. And I'm able to actually still make the money that I want to make for my life. Now, here's the whole key about money, about notary pay. The first thing that you got to do, oops, sorry about that. The first thing you got to do is simply set a goal. There's too many people out there who are not setting goals. They're just trying to make money, but they have no goal. And when you have no goal, you're aimless. You can't even hit the broadside of a barn. If you don't have a goal, and I know I only gave y'all 3 of the things, and the third one I had to, I remember, really is setting the goal. The fourth one is setting a goal. Setting a goal. So check, you gotta get things, for me, had to get things straight with my family. make sure that I was willing to do the work, don't get caught up in the hype, set a goal. And the fifth one is by any means necessary that is legal and appropriate, go out there and do it. Take advantage of every opportunity to go out there and do it. Those are my 5 things. Make sure my family's on board and they understand the commitment that I'm about to make. Because once I make that commitment, which is number 2, I'm in it and things gonna change. I might not be around as much in the beginning. Then I got to make sure that I don't get caught up in listening to people in the hype. I got to make sure that I got good goals set, and then I got to go out there and do it so I can accomplish those goals. Those are my 5. So with the pay, you got to first set a goal, even if it's just to say I want to make $300 this month. I'm new at this. Now, when you say you want to make $300, the first thing you should look at, is when the financial opportunity comes in to make anything over $0, you say, I'm gonna take it. Why? Because by me taking that order, I'm that much closer to my goal. But when you don't have a goal and the job opportunity comes in, you don't see any benefit in taking that job, because what? Your goal is not what I want to make for the month. Your goal is what I want to make per order. And I got a video about that out there. I do have a video out there about that. I need to find that real quick. What the heck is that? While I'm talking, I'm gonna see if I can find that. Oops, that's the wrong thing. But that's the key. Hold on, let me, because it's in my mind and I gotta find it. Here it is. This here video. Let me put that in the chat for y'all. Yep, got another one, getting paid as notary. Per closing or per month notary, which one are you? Are you about what you're getting paid per month, or are you worried about what you're getting per month? I mean, per closing. Which one is it? Which one is it? Okay, here it is. Here it is. And that is right, Caprinas. They just get hyped. They just get on the per month, per goal. Per closing. That's all you hear them talking about. What I'm making per closing. What I'm making per closing. And to be honest, a person can easily make $150 per closing each month. You know how? By taking that one closing that came in for $150. And they can easily say my average is 150. But when you say I got 6,000, okay, let's do the math. Let's put the math screen up, okay? Y'all know me, I like my math. So let's do the math here. So 6,000 divided by that 150 equals 40. So if a person says my goal is $6,000, okay, cool. Have you? So and then you say, and they always talk about they want to make 150. So then that means you did 40 signings. Well, nah. Okay, then how did you get to your 6,000? I actually got to 6,000. Okay, to be honest, I did 65. Oh, so you did 65. So I think, what is it? I think that's what it is. So that means you average $92 per signing. Yeah. I had one for 150, but I thought you was a 150 or bus person. Look, I gotta eat. So which one is more important? You bragging on Facebook and this, that, and the other, getting I know some people got this thing where they give you little special kudos for doing direct clients and or so many signing companies that have this level of whatever. Look, you just do you. You just do you. Stop. Ah, that tea is good. Stop trying to have bragging points on social media. I will say this here. You're welcome, Regina. I will say this here. Part of my success in running my business has been the notary business has strictly been because I run it as if social media did not exist for notaries. I run it, my notary business, as if social media does not exist for notaries. Am I on social media? Yes. But what I mean is when I do my business, I do not do it so that I can go into a Facebook group and boom, brag about it. Do I share with y'all? Yes, as a motivation to get y'all to understand because so many people tell y'all you can't make money in this business with signing companies. Y'all saw those numbers that I showed y'all on that graph on those orders. Those are from signing companies. Those weren't from direct clients. Straight signing companies. 95, 90, 130, 150. Signing companies paying that. They still are paying that. You just got to get out there and do it. I run my business as if social media for notaries do not exist because so many people are caught up into doing the social media aspect of the notary business that they're not actually doing the business aspect of the notary business. The business aspect is you looking for every opportunity to make money. The social media aspect, you're out there trying to do business to where you can brag. And are there some people who can make the money and then do the so? Yes, but that's not everybody. And here's the reason why. Because not all of you are really cut out for being business owners. Yet you're coming into this and you're being thrusted into trying to be at a level mentally and physically, because there's a physical aspect to it that you are not at. You're not there yet. You're just trying to, no sooner than you get into being a notary, the first thing they tell you to do is start this, be a 6 figure, be an 8 figure, be a 12 figure, do this thing, make books, do sales tapes and CDs, all of that. That's what they're telling you to do. But yet you don't understand the bare bones basics about this business. Like one of the concepts is about handle. How do you handle the documents? Us handling the documents is primarily strictly about us taking the documents that are provided to us, whether by mail, through e-docs, or we physically get them, at a place, and then we take them there to the signers, and then we allow them to review them, they sign them, we stamp them, and then we deliver them back. That's all we're doing. We just that's we're handling the documents from point A to point B, and that's it. And a lot of people get a little too caught up in there thinking that there's some kind of true custodial, meaning like they created the documents and they have some ownership of the documents and that they're responsible from the documents from the standpoint like I have to make sure that they know this. I have to make sure that they understand that that's our responsibility is to take the documents that are presented to us and deliver them to the people. Or if the people already have the documents because they were shipped to them first, then guess what? We then send them back. And we handle things while we're there to ensure what needs to get signed gets signed, what needs to get dated gets dated, what needs to get initialed gets initialed, and what needs to get notarized gets notarized. That's where it's at. Now, it was something else. And feel free to throw any other questions you got in there. Gosh. I know I had pulled it up. I'm trying to think. I had so much going in my head today that I wanted to cover and discuss and all of that. And I said, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hit it all. I really, really don't. Oh, here it is, here it is, here it is, here it is. Okay. There's this concept out there. There's this concept out there that says, I know you got to sign off, little lady. All right, yeah, we're gonna be on for another 12 hours. Nah, nah, just joking. Um, there's this concept out there, and I think it's spoken incorrectly. They simply say it can't be any. Hey, Pam. Yep. And I hope everything went well with you tonight. I think was are you the Pam that I was helping with the HELOC? I don't know if that was you or another Pam. A couple of Pams out there. Hope everything went well, because if it is, I was going to give you a call tomorrow and get the details to make sure everything went well with you on that. But the people say you can't leave blank documents. I mean, or blank spaces on documents. Everything got to be filled out. That's what they say. You got to be filled out. So let's look at something here. Let's look at something, people. So this here, this here is a loan modification. And we're going to go through this a little bit, pretty much line by line. So this here is something that is given to the borrower. The borrowers get it, but they also have us get it. It says, please carry this sheet with you when you have your documents notarized. So that tells you they're talking to the borrowers. This checklist is being provided to ensure your loss mitigation documents are correctly executed. If any of the following steps are not completed or are completed incorrectly, the documents will be returned to you for correction and or completion. The borrowers must sign their name exactly as it is printed, as the printed line below the signature line. The county, state, and date information completed on the borrower's acknowledgement for each set of documents. Notarization date written in by the notary public when notarizing the borrower's acknowledgement for each set of documents. Notary public signature and title written in by the notary public when notarizing the acknowledgement. Notary public stamp and or seal on the borrower's acknowledgement when notarizing each set. Commission expiration by the notary when written in. Do not have documents notarized by a family member or a foreign notary. Talks about witnesses. But here's the key. This is a note down here. Again, talking about blank lines. Can't leave nothing blank. Everything got to be filled out. The lender's acknowledgement portion of the loan documents will be completed by the lender and should not be notarized by your notary. So this is the loan modification, a little fake loan modification I put together here. It's only 12 pages. The D thing here is 7. So as we see, the first thing, Lori Johnson, aka Lori R. Williams, they signed their name exactly as it's presented. Now, here's where a lot of notaries make the mistake. They say, I gotta do this on all of these here that don't have, that's not getting signed. Did they tell you to do that? No, they didn't. But you did it anyway. Well, my trainer said I'm supposed to, we can't have any blank lines. Did they tell you to cross this out? No. Then why didn't you ask them? Well, I didn't want them to think that I didn't know what I was doing. So you don't want them to think you don't know what you're doing, but you don't know if it's something that they want done. Okay. So of course we got here what we're supposed to do for our acknowledgement. Okay. But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker right here. It says lender acknowledgement. The lender is going to acknowledge this. That person, the lender signs this and they date it And it says here, this is the person, attorney in fact, for the lender. And then they print their name and all of that. And then they also sign here, and they print their name. All of this goes to the lender. And then this here is talking about the agent, all that. So what people don't realize, you can't fill out a notarial certificate until somebody signs the area above. If the area above is not being signed by the person who's sitting across from you, then therefore you cannot fill out this portion. You cannot fill out the notarial certificate if there's no signature that has been rendered. And if the signature is being rendered, then you have to do what? Have seen the ID to verify that that person is who they say they are. And if none of that has happened, this section of the documents needs to be left alone. The same thing for what they call MERS, the Mortgage Electronic Registration System. It is for them. They will take care of it. Some other notary will. You don't have to mess with this. You don't have to fill it out. But I can't leave it blank. Why can't you? Well, I need to write something on here. No, because if they're going to use this section when it gets back, you doing this messes everything up. It messes everything up. Now they sign here and date, but what will a notary do? No. Oh, and we get more excited about doing this and making sure this, what we're required to do, is correct. Now let me take y'all back to something. These, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 bullet points. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 7 is dealing with the notary. 5 out of the 7 is dealing with the notary. This is our job, y'all. This is what we're supposed to do. When you get that, then you'll be a great notary. As long as you think it's all about trying to be funky, fancy, and fresh, talking this, that, and the other about this document and that, you're going to always be off. You're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. And don't think that some of these people who brag and all this, that, and the other aren't struggling. There's a lot of them out there. They struggle. They are not good notaries. I'm telling you, they are not good notaries out there. And it's some work. Making sure you're doing just what you're supposed to be doing correctly. And then you're asking somebody to take time out to share and break down and be able to. If your state law doesn't support you doing that, you don't do it. My state law clearly says that I'm not supposed to help somebody understand a document that requires a notarial act. So I can't, that's not my job. I can't do that. Now, are there any other questions? Any other concern? Even if it was something that you asked earlier and I didn't get to, drop it back in there so I can go ahead on and answer it. And I do apologize for missing it. You said when you are told, but when you are told to, but it should not be you, but the people that are on the documents. Correct. So that's the thing. Okay, that was okay. So everything good. Okay, good. All right. He said that's not your job as an NSA. Yeah, this is what people are doing. They're sitting here, and y'all don't realize. And this is what I wish. I really wish that the title companies and signing companies will come out in a very nice and polite way and share with you their struggles. There are so many great signing companies out here, and they are struggling to stay in business because so many notaries are doing all this jacked up stuff. And I'm doing what I'm doing, not to try to diminish or put down what people who are trying to do training is doing. I'm just saying that we got to make sure people are being trained properly. What is the proper training that people need? Well, let's find out from the signing company. The signing company say they're having these issues. Okay, then that's what we need to focus on. Because worrying about marketing, worrying about your Google page, that's nice. But what good does it do when the person who contacts you, you can't do their notarizations correct? Because they're not calling on you to show them how you market. They're calling on you to notarize their signature. And if you don't understand how to do that, and you're scared to do that, but you're real good at going to every single meetup and tea and crumpets notary gathering, you good at that, but you can't go out there and actually do this business, that's a problem. And there are human beings out here who like right now, I said this a couple of weeks ago, their spouses, their husband or their wife are like, okay, when are you gonna start making money in this business? And they are actually struggling. They are struggling. Yeah, thank y'all for hitting the like button. They are struggling mightily trying to get started. So, and they're stuck on trying to do what everybody else said. At some point, you're gonna realize that some of the stuff that they told you just doesn't work. It's not applicable. I'm gonna say this here: all this giving of food and cookies and donuts and all that kind of stuff. To some states, they look at that as you being an officer of the state. They look at that as a bribe. That you're trying to bribe somebody into giving you something that you haven't earned. See, here's the crazy part. People got you paying $500 for some training, 30, $40 a month for Facebook group memberships. They got all these different levels. But they say the only way you can get an order, the only way you can get somebody to give you a chance is to go to a bakery shop and give them some kind of pastries, give them a gift card, give them movie tickets or whatever, or take them to lunch and woo them that way. If what I took from you, if the training I took from you is supposed to be all of that, then I should not have to go spend money to bribe anybody to give me a shot. I should be able to articulate and I should be able to say, I took this training and that training got me to where I need to be. And I should be able to articulate what I know about the loan closing process and how to be the proper notary that you need, Mr. or Miss Title Company. You need, Mr. or Miss Signing Company. I should be able to articulate that based off of what I learned. It's no different than any other level of education. You go to college, you should be able to articulate what you learn. If you went to somebody's training and you can't articulate anything that you learned, which would then turn into revenue for you because you got a business opportunity based on that articulation, then you ain't learned nothing and they ain't taught nothing. And yes, there's a chance that they could have taught very, very well, but there's something with you. And get my water. There's something with you and in you that makes it difficult for you to comprehend. That's one thing. But when you got somebody who's really not teaching anything of any solid or that's solid, that's a problem. And especially when you're educated and you're willing to learn and you have the ability to learn, which I do truly believe that's the bulk of the people out here. The issue becomes, why can't I apply this? Because here's the thing: when you are a person who has some sense about you of understanding information, and I don't mean you got to have a doctorate degree or a master's degree. You just have the ability, a true good ability to understand information. Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Your inner man, your inner woman, your inner person will will push back on trying to do something that it knows is a bunch of bull. Your inner person, your inner man, your inner woman knows that the information that they gave you, that they just shared with you, is never going to work. And no matter how much you try to implement, you're like, I just can't do it because the real you already knows what they told you is a failure. For those of us who may not be to that level, those of us who are very optimistic, those of us who hope against hope, we'll give it a shot. And then the sad part is we clearly see that it's not working, but we still gonna keep trying it. Because why? We paid money for it. That's where we're at. Thank you, my man. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate it. I'm here to help. And I'm gonna do everything I can to help y'all. And what I encourage y'all to do is to be willing to learn, willing to learn on your own for yourself. Evaluate any and everything that people say, starting with me, challenge people, all of that. Just to be on the say, just challenge, it's like, ah, okay, I hear what you're saying, but it really not making sense. And if they're unwilling or don't have the ability to really help you to comprehend, let's just say it's just a minor thing. That's a red flag. That's something to tell you. So one of the things that I do is I offer one-on-one help, group help through my YouTube channel membership, as y'all see. And this isn't quote unquote sales pitch. This is just because people have been asking. This is what I do. Um, have this membership here, and if you're interested, cool. If you're interested, cool. If you're not, there's people who sign up, and then next thing you know, they get the help they need from me, and then they're off and running, and they don't need to be a membership anymore. So this isn't something that you got to do forever and a day. You can do it for 1 month. You can do it for 2 months. Some people have done it and then came back and did it again. It's completely up to you. And the whole point in what I'm trying to do with the membership, and you just click on the join button, or it might be sometimes in this little drop down thing, with the download super thanks and all of that. If you're on your mobile device, um, I know a lot of you have already spent money, overspent to be in this business. I got a video out there about that too. And you need help. And I'm trying to provide you an affordable way of getting help because, and people know I'll do this for free. But I've learned that sometimes people don't know how to value free. They don't they don't value what they're getting for free because there's no price attached. And because I've seen how people value this information at $2 or $3 or $4 or $500, even though it's wrong, they still like, but I paid for that. And they hold on to that, even though it might be causing them to get blacklisted. So that's why I said, okay, I'll put a small fee on there. But you can quit anytime, or not even really quit. You can stop anytime. And the whole goal is just to provide you with an outlet, an avenue. My overall goal is to help you have your first 5 to 10 signings successful and error free. How do I go about doing that? By doing document reviews, making myself available. If you ever need to give me a call or somebody have a question, like the young lady Pam asked tonight, she had some questions. I was sat there chatted with her. If I had about 10 more minutes, I would have actually called her, but I didn't by the time I finished getting everything set up. So that's what I do. That's the way I help. Now, some people have said, well, man, you should charge more. If you ever feel like I should get something extra or more, just hit the super thanks. Like the thing here, just hit the super thanks and you can give us super thanks or different dollar amounts. It's up to you. That's up to you. And give us super thanks. For on a video that you like, or you can do the super chat and everything, and go that route. It's completely up to you. When I do a live, I'm not looking for money. If it comes, cool. If it doesn't, because I'm still going to be out here doing my 60, 70 signings a month. I'm still going to be out here doing my house inspections. I'm going to still go out here and do my thing. But I'm going to do everything I can to help y'all. If you need help, I got you. 1-900 search, man. I remember the 1-900 numbers. Woo-hoo. Yeah. That's why Oswald be pushing so hard in the Notary business, because he's still paying off the 1-900 phone call bills he got. Just joking. I just had to mess with my man. I have 900 numbers. Yeah, I remember those late night. I didn't call any. I didn't call. I promise you. But the whole goal is just to help you, and I'm finding my way. I have found my way of helping you. A lot of people got their ways of helping, and that's great. It might just strictly be give them money, this, that, and the other. Okay, cool. But I have a way of doing it, and this fits me. Because by the time most people come across me, like Joe Haskins said earlier, he lost 200. Had he came across me, he would never had to spend 200. That simple. Let me go to this question. He said, what about creating flyers and taking to perspective? See, now that I can get with. The realtors a little different, because the realtors, they tend to lean on the title companies to get all the notary stuff together. So you might be a little iffy. It might be a little tough getting in with the realtors. But if you can get in with them, cool. Flyers for senior living facilities, all that. I would say if you could just make a one-page flyer, maybe one page front and back, no trifold, just something simple. I think a one-page flyer front and back, maybe something like on the front that just gives a short, just a basic, here's who I am. This is what I can do for you. And then on the back, make it a calendar and have your name at the bottom. Earl's Notary Service or whoever. And then you can have a little thing that says flip over for a list of our services. That's free game right there, y'all. That's like, one page flyer. Okay. One side, you have your business info. The other side, you can make it a calendar. Go to Vistaprint or a local Postnet, and you have the other side as a calendar. And at the bottom, you say, at the top, you have your business name up there. And at the bottom, you say, flip over for a list of our services. Boom. Everybody can do that. Now, I guarantee you somebody's going to take that idea that I just said, and they're going to put it behind a paywall, and they're going to be like, hey, you pay me $50 and I can teach you the secret to marketing, and they're going to use that. That's what they're going to do. And that just came right then and there. See, this is the thing. When you're really working business, ideas will come to you when you're about doing business. But when you're not about doing business and you're just about, I just trying to get paid, you're not thinking about how you can do something for a business. You're like, no, that's going to cost too much. That ain't going to help me get paid. That ain't going to help me get paid. That ain't going to help me get paid. No, I'm looking at what can I do to bring in revenue? Because I don't have to take $60 orders forever. It could just be for 10 minutes. I mean, for 10 weeks or a few months. I can just get in there, boom, take them in there. I'm good to go. You see what I'm saying? Thanks for the super sticker, my man. Really appreciate it. That's the key. See, people make you think that you doing $80 orders or $60 orders is infinitum, and it's not. I started low and then I moved up. Sometimes it drops back down, but I'm still moving up. I think, and last I looked at the numbers, I think in 5 years, and for some people, it might be low, but I think I've done about $300,000 in revenue with this business. And that's great. That is great. And I'm happy with that. And see, this is the thing, and I'm gonna end it with this. With the way you want to run your business, before you ever got in contact with any of these people out here, are you okay with running your business the way you want to run it? Because so many people in this business are telling you how you should run your business, but how do you want to run your business? How do you want your business? And then, is the way you want your business to operate sustainable? Because guess what? The moment you start getting into training, you need people. And if people aren't making money as a notary, they're going to get out. So now you got a market to bring more people in who are getting even less opportunities. And they leave, and then you get the next, and they get even less opportunities than the other people. So how do you make money as a trainer? You got to constantly come up with some type of thing, maybe gimmick, to continue to get revenue into your pockets. But there's a billion notarizations that's taking place every year. What's wrong with doing that? Well, that's a lot of running around, wear and tear on my car. My red bottoms get all scratched up. My blue bottoms get all scuffed. So I just want to sit at home and really just make money that way. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying you can't do it. But I said at the end of last year, coming into 2023, it's going to be an oversaturation of trainers. And that's where we're at right now. Everybody's trying to train. Everybody's trying to teach somebody something. Everybody's trying to pull a dollar out of everybody else so that they can not have to go out there and do actual loan closings. Because some people out here truly got some concerns when it comes to just travel. They don't like to go over a bridge, under a bridge, through a bridge, near a bridge. They don't want to go on certain sides of the town. And I'm not talking about because it might be rough or ghetto. I'm just talking about they just don't want to drive that far. But that's where the business is right now. Now, I ain't going to do that. Okay, then you're going to be out because the business that's around you ain't really much happening. It's not even about somebody else getting, it's just not much happening. So where the business is happening at, 30 minutes away. Okay, I'm gonna do what I got to do to bring money in. If you're bringing money in, then you're good. If you're not bringing money in, then you got some concerns with your family, with your creditors. It's that simple. So if I missed anything, let me know in the comment section. But I actually covered everything that I had on my list. Could I've gone into more detail? Yeah, but there's a lot of videos I have out there. On that, I got a video about the return on investment. That's a real good video. That one is excellent. I love that one. Yeah. Let me show y'all that one. And I'm gonna drop that in the chat. Yeah, return on investment. And not that many people looked at that video. It's only got 1,000 views. Looking to play this on the printer playlist. I got a video out there on the true cost of printing, all of that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of great information out there on this channel. A lot of great information. I just want y'all to take advantage of this. And again, I know some people might, be cool with me and they're like, man, it's like I'm not trying to undercut anybody. I just know that there's human beings out here who can't afford to pay another dime for anything. That's why you don't have to be a YouTube channel member, because I'm gonna put some great stuff out here, and there's already great stuff out here. But if you really need some one-on-one help, hit the channel membership and join there. Kick it with me for a month, and then you good. It's all about helping y'all get to where y'all need to be. Okay. That's what this is all about. Man, my microphone been way over there. I hope my volume been good, because my microphone been way over there. And so I guess my volume has been good. It's a good microphone anyway. And thanks, big man. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. My man Caprinas, he been kicking it with me. I think he was the first person to give me a super chat. I remember that. I think he was the first person to ever give me a super chat, and I greatly appreciate that, man. Um, but if I got any comments, questions, put them down below. If I missed anything, if I didn't expound on anything clear enough, just say so. Um, I got a 9 o'clock closing in the morning, so I'm getting ready to print the documents for that. And then sometime this weekend, I'm gonna look over look everything over and make sure I got answered everybody's questions. And if I got to do a separate video, I will, and make sure everybody's good to go. Cue cards. No, man, I'm just old school. I just write it down. I just write it down and keep it in front of me. And I'm actually proud of myself because y'all know I be all over the place. But tonight I stayed on task. Now, next go round, I'm gonna be scrambling. I'm gonna be all over the place. All right, y'all have a good one. Thank y'all for everything that y'all are doing in the notary business, and believe in yourself, have confidence in yourself, and make sure that the people who you're paying are doing what you paid them to do. And I think everything else will be just fine. So y'all have a wonderful one. Talk to y'all later. Peace.